Hello Joyce, I thought I'd send you this video rather than actually having to write a message to you, just to give you an idea of what's going on in the garden and so on. You can see we've got lots and lots of cowslips here, or as of course they're called in Essex, piggles. The daffodils of course are almost finished now, and the pond, which was actually really overflowing, has at long last gone down, but left a large gap at the side. As you can see over there we had a number of daffodils which I planted in the autumn, but of course they got drowned out, I'm afraid. And here, just inside the gate, hidden in the vegetation here, is a female pheasant. She's laying her eggs. We were up to about 8 eggs yesterday, so I think she does about 12 in total. The bluebells are just beginning to come out. They're actually, it was given to us some years ago by a couple of friends, one who used to be the headmaster of the local school, and we always think about him every time spring comes and we see the first lot of the bluebells which he gave to us. In the front of the garden, of course, we've got some more piggles that are growing underneath the silver birches and so on. And then we go and have a look at the house itself. It's always good at this time of the year with the greenery just coming on all the way around. And by the front door I've got a pale pink camellia this year, which seems to be doing quite well. When Vary and Willie moved into Dunmow, in their house just outside the door, from the patio, was just covered with these loose stones. And of course, as soon as you came into the house, you brought the stones in on your feet. So their first job was to get rid of the stones, and they were going to have to pay someone to take them away. And I decided to make this dry riverbed or little stream bed up to the little studio. And their neighbour came across and said he'd got a stone for me. And so he then produced this stone, magnificent stone, with a huge hole in the middle of it. And of course we had to end up having a water feature. So having dug the thing for the water, the tank for the water, we then had to have a cascade, of course. And so we've now got the cascade and the water feature, and next to it, of course, a seat to sit and listen to the music and just admire the garden. This camellia has been particularly splendid this year. It's always lovely to see it with the black background, and of course it's sheltered from the early morning sun so they don't get scorched. Had a bit of a problem this year at church. For Mothering Sunday, as usual, we were going to get some normally polyanthus, but this year I decided to actually get some wild primroses rather than the brightly coloured polyanthus, which is just as well because of course the churches were closed down before Mothering Sunday, and I'd ordered these trays and trays of the primroses. What we decided to do is we're going to put them in the churchyard, which will be ideal because of course they can be naturalised there, and so they will have a purpose. As soon as the lockdown's finished, we should be out getting those planted in the churchyard, which I think will look pretty fantastic in future years as well. And a memory, of course, at Mothering Sunday of this particular time of the year. This year I've given Sandy a good wash, so she's now looking quite smart. And I've begun to clear around the rockery around her, and we'll be replanting with various things, mainly foxgloves, which I've actually been gathering around the garden and I'm bringing on. It's lovely to see the blossom coming out on the trees. Here's the apple blossom, which I always think is one of my favourites, for the touch of the pink as well as the red. This year in the orchard, again, the piggles have come up, and so a number of bluebells all over the place, which is a bit surprising because I was not expecting to see so many of these. The other interesting thing is in this tree, I don't know whether I can actually get it into focus and so on, but I've actually got now the whole of a new one for the woodpecker. So I'd be interested to see how the woodpeckers get on this year. we've been very busy on the nuts that I put out for the birds generally. And I've cut the labyrinth, and again it's amazing the large number of pegals or cowslips that have come up, just popped up all over the place this year. I managed to get my lion water feature working again. Last year it was bunged up in the mouth because there was a leaf cutter bee that had made its nest in there, but I managed to clear it out and it's now working. So I think it's now time perhaps for lunch. So you'll see that I'm going to enjoy one of the beers that we kept when we were in Bruges last year. Only problem is with the running of water and the sound in the background, I'll probably have to go in and out to the loo, won't I? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this visit.